boxing fans, boxing critics, boxing analyst Renee Box Young. What is good? Shouts from the south, down south Mexico. Hey, I want to get right to this. Legendary Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. versus Jorge Arce, El Travieso. Man, this happened, or it already happened, in November 22nd. You know what I mean? If you go to the calendar, y'all know that date, right? It was on Friday, but right after was Wilder-Ortiz rematch. This was under the radar to a certain extent. It wasn't too, out there. I got it, down here. I saw it. I watched it. It was an exhibition fight, all right? 3 rounds. It was in Tijuana. BoxingScene.com explains it all. Link in the description. Check it out. And yeah, it was in Tijuana Municipal Auditorium, and it was great, man. They had their helmets on, right? The protective helmets, protective gear, you know what I'm saying? And you got to give them all due respect, man. These guys are legends, you know what I'm saying? And look at their age. I mean, just go to the age I want you to go. I just want to show you guys real quick. Like, we have here, was born on Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., 57 years old, man. And you got Jorge, right, El Travieso. He's much younger. Excuse me, 40 years old. But, man, you got to consider, Cesar Chavez, boxing's in his blood, man. And these guys, if you saw the fight, I want to just explain just real quick, it was kind of like Brandon Figueroa versus Ceja. Right, Figueroa versus Ceja, which was the undercard, in the Wilder-Ortiz rematch. They were the undercard, part of it, and it was one of the fights. And if you guys saw that fight, which I want to talk a little bit about, that was a war, man. Figueroa versus Ceja, all due respect. And I actually, if I'm not mistaken, which one was it? Sorry about that. If it wasn't, I think it was it was with, I was on Mahari Nation, shouts out to brother Abel Mahari, sports podcast. I was there live in the pre-fight show of Wilder versus Ortiz rematch. I'm trying to remember, and the historian Curtis Anderson was there too, and we were talking about, Wilder Ortiz, and the undercard also, to conclude that show. I mentioned that Figueroa versus Ceja was going to be a war. Yeah, because if you go back and you study and you go analyze the fight between Ceja versus Rigondeaux, that was in the pocket, body shots. They were just, toe-to-toe, fighting on the inside. That's Ceja's style. And it resonates, a common, Mexican boxing style. I'm not saying it's just one style in particular, but that's what you saw these legends do in the exhibition fight. That's why I bring them up because, and I'm mixing it in with the Brandon Figueroa Ceja fight because that's how this exhibition was between Cesar Chavez Sr. versus El Travieso, man. Commonly known as the Travieso, okay? So it was just, man, you got to respect these legends. And why do you think, you guys, I don't want to get out there too much, but why do you think Cesar Chavez Sr., if you go watch this exhibition fight, guys, there's a reason, I reiterate this, guys, there's a reason that, regarded by many as the greatest, boxing scene, saying this, Mexican fighter of all time, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., there's a reason why this legendary, Mexican fighter has criticized Canelo, you know what I'm saying? There's a reason why the legends, Mexican legends of fighting have criticized Canelo because these guys, man, it was an awesome fight, man. It was exhibition, yes, they had their headgear and stuff like that, excuse me, but it was, man, they were toe-to-toe, no one was backing down. Cesar Chavez Sr. did amazing head work, head movement. Travieso was just swinging, and Cesar Chavez Sr. was just using great head movement. He didn't have his arms up much at all, to protect himself because he was using amazing defensive skills with his head. Upper body going down, left and right, It was awesome. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was 3 fights. It was fun. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a full blown, real fight or whatever, boxing match, I guess you can say. But these guys made it look like that. An exhibition fight, they made it look like a real boxing match, man. Because they're legends, man. They're used to that kind of fighting. You know what I'm saying? Back here, you see that also famous fight right there. Amazing, battle. You know what I'm saying? So these Mexican fighters, man, that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree, in my opinion, I don't agree too much with the, hit and get hit. It's supposed to be hit and not get hit. As a matter of fact, Chisora recently, and he said this, guys. A lot of people aren't talking about this, but, I'm going to talk about it. That's what I'm saying. I mention things that, usually I try to mention things that many people don't mention. Chisora versus Parker, right? They had a face kind of like face-to-face interview. You know how the PBC does it, you know what I'm saying? And this was in UK somewhere. We know that Parker had to pull out of the fight, of fighting Chisora recently because of a spider bite or something like that. But before that, when they were gonna, when it was planned that they were gonna fight, they had a face-to-face interview on a table, sitting there at a glass table or whatever, and they're talking back and forth. And something that got my attention a lot, that Chisora, and no wonder why he got knocked out cold by Dillian Whyte, if I'm not mistaken. He said that he doesn't care and he doesn't believe. I'm paraphrasing. He said that in that interview that he doesn't care, or doesn't believe in the hit and not get hit method strategy in boxing. I don't really agree with that at all. I mean, because, no wonder why he got knocked out, Chisora, you know what I'm saying? No wonder. So I don't really agree with that, you know what I'm saying? I don't think it's the smartest thing to do. But Mexican fighting, you know what I'm saying? It's not only that. It's not hit and get hit, but it seems like that. Even though they're blocking on the inside, they know how to block their body, body shots. They know how to protect themselves, keep their hands up, their arms up, you know what I'm saying? Their gloves up, they just do it in a way that it looks like it isn't, you know what I'm saying? So it's not, I can't say Mexican style is hit and get hit strategy. It looks like that. I don't agree with the hit and get hit strategy because that's not really a strategy. It's just going in and throwing blows. But it makes it look like that. Like if you go and watch the Cesar, Chavez Sr. versus El Travieso exhibition fight, you see that. I mean, Cesar Chavez great defensive skills. Even though he was in the pocket, even though he was face to face with El Travieso, I mean, he was using his head movement. El Travieso, he was missing a lot of shots, man. Because he was just going for the face wild. Because El Travieso, he's known to do that a lot. He was known to do that in his career. But that's why, guys, these guys are legends, man. I got to take my hats off, and I have to make a video on this, to get it out there, to make it known to you guys. And I'm saying if you guys haven't seen it, I don't know. I don't have a link in the description as far as the fight because I saw it here in Mexico, but maybe it's somewhere around there floating. I'll try to find it, and I can put the link in the description if there is one around there, but you would probably have to go and look for it, you know what I'm saying? It was in Mexico, in Tijuana, so... But man, and the crowd was going wild every second of the fight, you guys. I mean, that's what Mexican boxing is known for, you guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like I said, I repeat, I said in other videos, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a scholar in boxing. I'm not a scholar in Mexican boxing or in boxing in general, you know what I'm saying? But we understand history, you know what I'm saying, as far as with the sport of boxing in Mexico and United States also, you know what I'm saying? I'm not exalting one culture over another because I exalt both. That's why my icon, my thumbnail, is a Mexican flag and an American flag. The Western hemispherical boxing is amazing, so in general, so... But, that's why, guys, these guys, I mean, they're known for that. They brought that to the table in the sport of boxing, you know what I'm saying? That kind of action-packed fighting, scared of nobody, fighting the best anytime, anywhere, bring it on. That's what they bring, you know what I'm saying? And that's why you got to respect their opinions, man. You have to, you guys. I mean, Canelo, he got a recent interview on ESPN. I was going to make a video on it, but just the time. I don't have the time, guys. I'm turning in my final project and stuff in my studies and stuff like that. So, I mean, in December, hopefully, I'm almost there, so... I'm going to, push out more content. That's my plan at least. So, let me mix that in that, Canelo did a recent interview on ESPN. He did an interview recently, and I'm going to bring that out. I got to. I just don't know when, guys. I mean, and the bottom and the headline and the, how it has, when they're doing interviews on ESPN or what have you, or whatever station, broadcast, when athletes are interviewed or actors or whatever. On the bottom, it has like a bar and it has their name, and and then below their name, it has like what they're talking about, like a quick summary or a subtopic of what they're talking about. And it's talking about, Canelo wasn't happy in that interview, guys. And it said there, in the bar on the bottom that he's criticized. They're talking about him being criticized so much, and you can't blame the critics. You cannot blame the critics, you guys. I repeat, Canelo is an amazing fighter, and y'all know. Go watch my content. I always highlight that Canelo is an amazing fighter, amazing skills. He just has to put it, in my opinion, he has to put it a little bit more to the test, like these guys right here. I mean, that's why these guys, well, maybe not El Travieso. I haven't heard anything of him, but go watch my video on, Mexican legends criticizing Canelo. Several of them are doing it, not just, one, not just two. Several are. So, I mean, it's because of something, you guys. But, hey, getting back to this, it was an amazing fight. It did resonate to a certain extent, like Brandon Figueroa versus Ceja. Hopefully they're going to rematch Brandon Figueroa and Ceja, because that was, I believe, Ceja won. A lot of people believed Ceja won. A lot of people focus only on the headshots. And a lot of, that would be people who don't really know much about boxing and scoring fights. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm a judge, but Ceja was landing so many body shots against Brandon Figueroa and upstairs too. Ceja had to win, man. But boxing, man. So hopefully they rematch. They talked about rematching, so... Yeah, so this is how this exhibition was, guys. 3 rounds. The bell rang in the 3rd round. They kept going at it. It was an exhibition fight. It was fun, but I'm sure they were putting their heart in that exhibition. 3rd round, bell rang, 10 seconds, boom, okay, and it was over. The fight was over. They kept swinging, man. They kept swinging. The crowd was going wild. I'm telling you guys, the crowd was going wild. It was going wild since the 1st round, 2nd round, 3rd round. I mean, that's Mexican boxing. They brought that back again. It was so fun to watch, man. So I'm going to try to find it. Look in the description. If not, just go find it yourselves, you guys. It's, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. versus Jorge Arce, right? El Travieso exhibition, something like that, put on YouTube. I'm sure you'll find it somewhere. But if not, I'll leave the link in the description if I still have it, okay? So it is what it is, man. I just wanted to bring this out there. Quick video, man. Respect to legends, guys. Respect to these Mexican warriors, man. That's what it is, man. Renee Box Young, thank you so much. Subscribe, like, share, etc., etc. Thank you guys so much for the support, man. It's all love, man. Peace.